Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the BNI Partners in Excellence podcast. I'm Andy, and today I have yet another new member to our chapter, Sergio De Leon with Dignity Memorial. Sergio, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Andy, for having me.
And welcome to BNI Partners in Excellence. I know it's been like months already, but I'm glad that we finally are able to do this show and then talk more about what you're doing and how people can be referring you. Look, right out the gate, I'm sure this is not the easiest thing for people to bring up in a conversation to talk about end of life services, but I want to give you some runway to talk about all that today. So, first, for anyone who does not know what Dignity Memorial is, let's talk about what that is, and then that'll set the tone for where we go next.
Okay, Dignity Memorial is the North America's largest provider of funeral, cemetery, and cremation services. We have over 1,900 locations in North America. That would be the United States, Canada, including Hawaii and Alaska, and also Puerto Rico. So we're pretty much out there. And I represent here in San Diego County 16 funeral homes, 4 cemeteries, but I am open to sell funeral in the entire state of California.
Now, I know you commonly talk about the interesting ways that you introduce what you do. You were telling me right before right before we started, you have a unique way of kind of, let's say, revealing to people what your role is professionally. Why don't you share with everyone who hasn't heard it firsthand how you introduce what you do?
Breaking the ice kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a different one.
When I got the job and you're a social party, and I would tell people, what is it that you do? Oh, I work at funeral, I work at cemetery. And people would take like a step back, reserved or, taboo or, whatever. I had to play. I got this look. So I came up with this unique thing, and I started telling people, I'm in the unique real estate business. And that just grabbed people to, what is, intrigue people or what is, yeah, I provide you with your final home.
Oh my gosh.
So it kind of gets a chuckle and a laugh, and then I can bring in, I deal with cemetery, funeral, and the person's relaxed versus taking 10 steps back.
It's like a risk reward, right? Because you're like, I don't want to make light of end of life and death, but at the same time, it's like if I just come right out with it and be like, I work in a mortuary, be like, whoa, wait, easy. Well, I'm not ready for that conversation yet. So I get it. How often do you think people, or how often would you say people are receptive to that, like entry into the conversation, and then ask you a follow up question? Is it half the time, 90% of the time, or they go, nice to meet you, bye, I gotta go?
9 out of 10, they'll be more receptive, and we get a conversation. For some, it's strictly taboo. Don't bring it up, because if you talk about it, it's going to happen. We get that kind of a feel of some people, and they'll want to do it, and they'll be reserved and defensive. But most people will start, oh yeah, where, or what is it you do? It brings interest into them, so we can start a conversation. Where the other way is, it was just defensive, and it was a wall that I had to break down. I knocked down that wall by never presenting it.
So there's cases where the superstition is pretty strong.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What do people tend to ask you once you've kind of broken the ice and they understand you're actually in the end of life services? Like, what do they typically follow up with? Like, do they ask you a specific question about them, or do they say something that is trying to be like socially polite and complimentary, like, oh, that must be a very valuable service you do? Or do they make some dumb dad joke like, people are dying to see you? Like, what are some of the responses you get?
All around, when they find out, some people, I work in the cemetery, some people want to know, okay, what's the weirdest thing you know? I think that's popular. Have you seen ghosts, or have you? That's kind of a popular. To the other of like, what's the pay like?
That's the question.
How do you get paid? Is it by body? People. Some things I feel is some people are still defensive, and they're processing where I work.
Okay.
They don't know what to follow up with. It's a thing. And others, you get, hey, I have services with them. I've done this, or sometimes it brings back memories. I lost a child and we didn't have anything. So it's really all out there.
I was chuckling because I was chuckling because of what my mind said or what my mind thought. Not that people asked that question, but I was laughing because I did not think of that question. I'm like, oh, that's actually not a bad question. How do you get paid? By the body? By the pound? By how deep you dig? Like, I get it. That's a fair question to ask. I was I was laughing because I was realizing, well, that is a good question, and I don't know that I would have even asked that, but that's very curious.
No, I've been surprised by some of the questions I've gotten, and I've had to learn how to engage people, how to do it. I like to bring humor into it. Not everyone enjoys it, so I gotta read the people. One of my favorite things to do is when I take the families in a tour at Glen Abbey, is read them, and if I see them uptight, I take them over to a little detour and I take them to our Rosary Garden, which is our Catholic garden. Okay. And then I'm showing them this is our Catholic garden. And I always get that question, do you have to be Catholic to be buried here? No, we bury Republicans and Democrats here all the time. I get a chuckle and a laugh.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
After that, they're pretty good. I did have one, I think that was funny, comment from one person. But everyone else that I've done it with, that's kind of like really had broken the ice. They've relaxed. They've, because it is Mormon. It is something hard to talk about.
And I think that it takes a special person, and I'm not trying to say this because I want you to like feel good, but I think that it takes a special person to do what you do because there's a level of sensitivity you have to have in your career that some of us don't have to have. Like I don't have to have the same level of sensitivity for the situation doing podcasts with people, talking about their business, marketing and promoting their brand, and then hosting people they like and know and trust and refer. That doesn't require a lot of sensitivity, but in your case, it requires a lot. Is that something that you were comfortable doing right away, or is it something you had to like learn your way into?
Good question. I guess it goes back to my nature of helping people. Now, believe it or not, in my previous business, I sold tractor parts. How do I go from tractor parts to mortuary?
I mean, you kind of use tractors at the mortuary, don't you?
We
A
do,
little bit.
but not like,
You got that backhoe digging that hole, man. Like,
My parents had a family business. During COVID, we struggled like everybody else. Broke my heart. Had to close it down. And had a friend who worked at the industry, and he said, "I've always helped on my church. Always helped on my daughter's schools. I always enjoyed helping people." Said, "Well, let me help them at the greatest need, at the greatest time of need." I thought it would be something. I said, "Well, let me give it a try until I could find something better, or they figure out I don't know what I'm doing." Well, I haven't found anything better. I love what I do. I love helping people, and they haven't figured out I don't know what I'm doing.
You do know what you're doing. Don't say that. How early in your adventure into this new career did you like fall in love with it? Was it right away, or was there like a defining moment that happened 6 months in or a year in? You were like, oh, I love this.
Oh no! Going into it, I thought, what the heck was I thinking? I had to get a limited life insurance license. I didn't know about that. Everything I had to learn, about the business. I was in these courses and classes using this terminology, and I was like, I don't know if it's for me kind of a thing, but I didn't want to be a quitter or anything like that. So I stuck with it, and it kind of felt unnatural because I did it my way. Maybe the company won't be happy, but I've changed and molded things. I didn't understand a lot of the things when they were being taught to me, so I had to go in. So I kind of relearned them, and I teach them. If I didn't understand it, I can't teach it to them. So I kind of teach it the way I learned it, and people grasp it, and other people are now using it. So it's like, I guess it worked.
Well, I'm finding out like in the moment right now on the show that there's other prerequisites to just having this job. So explain to everyone who is like me and doesn't even know that there's all these other things you have to do to like actually be employed in the position you have. What are some of the other things you had to like have testing for, certification in, licensing of? What are some of those things?
Well, one thing I found out is they do a complete background check. You can't have a bankruptcy. You couldn't file a bankruptcy. You get fingerprinted, and they get sent out, and they do, a complete background check on you. Then we have to do get a limited life insurance license. It's not as complex, but it was hard because I had to learn a lot of life insurance terminology that I was not familiar, and insurance has their own language, so I had to learn all that. It was tough. And when my manager, I thought, was signing me up for a course on how to learn and be better, I show up and it said the actual exam.
No, geez, what?
And,
Like pop quiz, like that.
Kind of, yeah. I thought I was going into a course, and it turns out it was the
No,
test.
man, you're being tested right now.
And then it was still,
Wow.
We were required to wear a mask, and they take everything from you. And I'm telling you, they took, empty your pockets, the whole things. And
In my mind, they're saying, disrobe, please put on this gown for your test today.
Almost. And it was intimidating because you go into a room and you got cameras in, and
Wow.
they're telling you, okay, this camera here is looking at you, this camera's looking for you from the back, this one's looking from here, and you're sat down and you see these pictures of you, because it's like, I guess, a big thing, stuff. And they took my cloth for cleaning my glasses.
What?
And I had to wear a mask.
What would have been on the whatever?
I don't know.
Okay,
They just
whatever.
everything goes into a locker, it locks up, and then I'm sitting there and I'm
Wow.
taking the test. So I'm struggling to clean my glasses because I couldn't see the screen.
You don't have a shirt on anymore. They took that too. I can't use my shirt to clean it.
I had a flannel shirt, so it was really hard, to try to clean. If I would have known, I would wear a cotton shirt.
Oh my god!
But so I'm sitting there, and I do the test, and I swear I was like overwhelmed. I said a prayer. I said, God, please help me. And it's like, I finished the test, and I'm sure I failed. And it comes out pass. I had no clue how I passed it.
Oh my gosh!
Thank God. He guided me, helped me. I said a prayer. He heard me, and he helped me pass the test.
Oh my gosh! You have to have so many interesting stories like this. Like it's only been a couple minutes, and already you've hit me with a couple things I never would have thought of, didn't think to ask, or I would not have imagined someone else would have asked or said to you. That's unreal. That's pretty like what's the word? People tell me I have a lot of cameras in here. You named there's like 5 or 6 on you in this one testing place, huh?
Yeah.
So see, you guys, 3 isn't bad. And it's only 3. He's endured more. It's only 3. So tell me now, like after getting through all that, what are some of the things that Dignity does to help bring dignity to families beyond it just being the name? Like, what are some of the things that people should know about? Because look, this is a difficult conversation for some people to have. At some point, everyone comes to terms with the fact that they're mortal and they're going to die. And then how you feel about that is a wide range of emotions, depending on who it is and season of life and reason and causes and all that. How does dignity bring dignity to situations that sometimes don't feel dignified?
By treating your loved one with dignity from the beginning. When we meet with you, we know we're talking about yourself or a loved one. So by there, listening to what you want. When that day comes and your loved one passes, we treat them with dignity. A dignity employee will always be in contact with your loved one. A dignity employee will pick up your loved one. A dignity employee will be holding your loved one. You will always be in a dignity location. We've heard horror stories of things that go on, and that usually happens in other industries because they use outside vendors, they use outside crematories. We own our own crematory. We have our own morticians. We have our own drivers. So a dignity employee will always be in possession of your loved one. He's not going to be somewhere where we don't know where he is right now because he's stuck in shipping. That doesn't happen.
You kind of said that way too casually, I think. I wasn't ready for you to say that. Okay. Stuck in shipping? Wow. Sergio, you have no problem making light of what you do. I enjoy that about you. So what has been something that, if there's anything possible that has made your transition from one career into this one easy, what would you say it's been? Is there anything that's helped you kind of maneuver into this position of where you're talking to people about end of life all the time? And like, it's your business, it's your career, it's how you are like putting food on your table is because of other people's misfortune of losing a loved one.
I think having a Catholic background I know that death is inevitable, and at some point, we're gonna be with our Creator, and we're gonna be up there. So, do I want to die today? No, I don't want to die today, but I know that it'll come the day. But I'll get to see my dad again. We lost him in 2005, and part of that is also the reason because they pre-planned. It was so easy. The call, everything. Glen Abbey handled everything. It was incredible, being able in the ease instead of when when we lose a loved one, picking up the phone and start calling mortuaries, or you can have everything pre-planned and it's one call and we take care of everything.
Yeah. Is it hard for people to say yes to pre-planning because they feel like they're just like marching down the road of their own death quicker? Not necessarily in the superstitious kind of way, but like it makes you. I have not done it myself, but I'm imagining it makes you really just confront some things and have to make some decisions now, and you don't know when they're going to be enacted. Is that pretty challenging?
It is. I mean, when you think about it, we have no problem recommending someone that sells life insurance. We have no problem recommending someone that does what Maribel does for us, the trust. It involves death.
Mm-hmm.
But we stop just at here because this is picking your urn, picking your casket. It's kind of final. It's a little bit more fearful. But I've told you at some point is like my goal is I hope you don't look at me as like the Green Ripper. You don't see me as death. Yeah. My goal is to educate people out there that what I'm trying to provide is peace of mind. At the end of the day, when we talk to our insurance guy, it isn't because I'm hoping to go get in a car accident. When we're talking to someone that sells health insurance, it's not because I hope I get cancer and I get sick and I want him to cover it. We are buying that insurance because of what might be. Well, I hate to break the news. We are going to die. You are going to need not my service, but the services I provide, you're going to need from someone.
Yeah.
And my goal is to, at the end of the day, do you want the peace of mind and have everything pre-planned? When you get the news that you lost your parent, you lost your spouse, knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen, but you lose a child, do you want to start planning everything at that moment, or would you like to have everything pre-planned? Now, you mentioned dignity, and one of the things that I brought up the other day was any funeral service we sell, whether it's the least expensive or the most elaborate, we pass that protection on to your children and your grandchildren. It terminates when they turn 21. So 20 and below, if anything happens to them, excluding suicide because they take their own life, they would get the identical service that you have. That doesn't mean, Andy, I sold you a funeral, you lose a son, I'm not going to take your service away and give it to them. You keep yours and they'll get it. Now, you have 3 children, knock on wood, car accident, and you lose all 3. I mean, hope it doesn't, but each one of them would get a free service.
I did not know that.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that. That's up until the age of 21, till adulthood?
When they turn 21, it terminates.
Oh, wow.
It excludes also if they get married. Under the age of 21, it terminates because then they form their own
They're
household.
a new family. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Those would be the only exceptions, and if they would take their life. But it extends to the grandchildren. If you were to pass away and one of your kids gets a grandchild and you never met him, I would protect that grandchild as well.
I did not know any of that.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How do people react when they learn that?
They're like, I tell them, I'm going to give you a gift that I hope you never need. That's how I kind of introduce it because, I mean, it's a great protection to have. I hope never to use it.
Yeah.
But in the event that you do, it's there and it's a peace of mind. So I'm not only protecting you, I'm protecting your children, I'm protecting your grandchildren, all of them.
Yeah, that's a great way to say that. I mean, I can't think of a better way. And again, there's probably no best way, but that's a great way to communicate that because I don't think going into like pre-planning, people are thinking about there being an extension of that same plan for your dependents.
Hmm.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
No, it does. That's on the funeral side. On the cemetery side, we try to emphasize people to do it when they're younger.
Mhm.
So the company has this policy that if you buy under the age of 65 and you paid 1 year into it, there's a way that we can forgive up to $5,000 of your debt
Oh
to
wow.
help you out.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of what sets us aside, the dignity difference.
Yeah. What would you say are some of the other like kind of lesser known things about end of life planning that you want people to know about? Either that you find yourself talking out about a lot, or maybe they're things that are really important but people don't think to ask about them. What are some of the things you would want to share with the audience that you like really want them to know that is uncommon knowledge?
Probably one of the biggest challenges I have is when people tell me, "Oh, I got it covered. I have a life insurance and the life uh, coverage or something like that." And the misunderstanding is when they have that, they have an amount. Okay. So, Andy, you already told me you haven't done this. Okay. Right. You haven't pre planned it.
Correct.
Okay. How much is your funeral going to cost?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
okay. Good answer. You've gone out and bought a policy for an amount that you don't know if it's going to cover you.
Mhm.
I can give you a story of a couple I met. They bought back in 1984, okay, a $3,000 policy that was going to cover everything they needed. Okay. I met with them. They brought it in, and I met through them through a co-worker from when I sold tractors. It was his parents, and we went over and I kind of explained. They were naming my funeral home as the beneficiary, so I explained to them what you didn't buy anything from us. You've actually bought something through this company, and they're gonna pay our company to do that. And they itemized all the items they wanted, was added to 2,900 something. Amount to be covered was $3,000. So we reached out to the company. We it was closed down, but we were able to find it who bought it and reached out and found out that it had grown, and their actual value of one of the policies was just under $7,000, and the other one was $6,700.
Oh wow.
So both of them were under $7,000, so they had grown.
Mhm.
Now, when we went through and picked how much their funeral cost, one of them was $10,000, the other one was $12,000.
Oh, okay.
So now what I told them is, well, they're only going to pay this. A family member's going to pay that.
Yeah.
So there to the day, they're still making monthly payments.
Yeah.
Because they have to pay until the person passes.
Right.
When I sell you a funeral, you're going to pick what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 5 years to pay, and there's an amount.
Yeah.
After the 5 years, you're done paying. You're guaranteed that service, regardless of how much it costs in the future.
Wow.
So if it doubles, triples, whatever,
You've already paid what you paid. It's already secured.
and you got it. And
Wow.
you're guaranteed that service, and you only paid the 5 years. And you paid and chose exactly what you wanted.
Wow.
Versus picking an amount that hopefully will cover what you want.
Yeah.
Will this cover what I want?
Mm-hmm.
And overcoming that's one of the biggest hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
The second biggest hurdle is just the taboo of, I don't want to talk about it because if I do, it's an unpopular topic. No one wants to bring up death.
Yeah. I know in our one-to-one that we had, we talked specifically about some of the misconceptions around the VA benefit because in that space, typically the people that are in your friend circle or in your unit when you are active duty, they talk. Oh, I know this, I know that. They share information. And sometimes that information is mostly true, somewhat true, or not true at all. And sometimes it's 100% correct. But I know that we discussed there's a lot of misconceptions about what the VA benefits are when it comes to end-of-life services, burial services. I would love to talk about that a little bit because there are numerous members in our chapter where veterans are a group of people that are serving as a profession as well. And also, there's a ton here in San Diego. and just in our family and friend circles of people who have served in our armed services and they are veterans now, I'd love to talk about some of the myths and the truths that they need to know so they can confidently refer people to you for the right kind of help.
Yeah, I would love that opportunity to get in front of as many veterans as I can, because I'm indebted to the Navy. I didn't join the Navy. I was in a service. And to everyone out there that's been in the service, thank you for your service. Really appreciate it. The reason I'm indebted into the Navy is I'm in this country thanks to NASCO. My dad was able to get a job as a welder, was able to immigrate his family here. And if it wasn't for the Navy, he would never have been able to get that job. So because of the Navy, my dad was able to get us here. I was born in Tijuana, Mexico, in 1970. In 1978, we moved over here, and if it wasn't for the Navy, I'm sure we wouldn't be here. So I owe everything to the Navy because of my dad getting the job and doing that. The second thing is on February 13th, 9:30 in the morning, at Southwestern College, at a racquetball court, I met the love of my life, Abigail De Leon. God bless me that day. And she's a Navy brat. If it wasn't for the Navy, she wouldn't have been born. Her dad was born in the Philippines, and he joined the Navy, and that's how became a U.S. citizen. So if it wasn't for the Navy, I wouldn't be here in San Diego. If it wasn't for the Navy, I wouldn't have met my wife. So I'm indebted to the Navy, and I want to help out to the service. And now to why. There's this big misunderstanding that the VA is going to cover everything for them. There this belief that all their funeral services are taken care of. Now, they could be entitled to free land at a national cemetery, that being a military, here being Miramar. They do, I provide them, and we just gave it to your friend, this pre-planning guide for veterans, and it's got a special page on the back that they can pre-fill. They mail it to the VA. It goes over their service, and they'll get a letter back saying, thank you so much for your service. You're entitled to free land at a national cemetery. That's their golden ticket, guaranteeing a space for them and their current spouse. If they're living together, doesn't count. Now this is another belief that we're in the new millennium of people living together. You need a marriage certificate. This is not my rule. This is the VA. This is the government saying you have to have a valid. There's misunderstanding that sometimes they think it was the one when I was married while I was in the service, then I got divorced. Since I got divorced, my new current wife is not covered. It is a marriage when one dies and you place your wife there, a pairing has been made. Okay? If you get remarried again, no more space for the new wife. Okay? Right. It's like a marriage certificate when one dies, it gets that placing.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, I can see how that can be confusing, or unknown. Let's start with that. Yes. I can see how that would be unknown, and then if known, could be misconstrued or misunderstood.
Okay, so you can see where there's all the confusion and everything that happens.
Yeah. Well, also there's a level of specificity that goes beyond. Yeah, I have it. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Like
going back to the form to fill out. You have children, I have children. We all got in that letter from school. Your kid has a overdue library book or owes money in the cafeteria. If they don't pay it, they're not going to graduate.
This is just an example, right?
It's an example. Maybe when their service, something came up, there's a clerical error, something comes up. Who is better to clarify that error? The person who did the serving? Or the loved one on the worst day of their life.
Yeah, the survivor
that go up. Oh, no. Wait a minute. What do you mean that? So by pre-qualifying yourself, you're getting this letter. In the event they say, well, wait a minute, we see something, there's an error, there's something we don't foresee. Who is going to be better to clarify that? The person that did the serving and knows and answer all the questions?
Yeah. But you're right. I wouldn't even have thought of that. Like that's not even a scenario that I had like run down in my mind far enough down the road to contemplate that would be an outcome, but I totally see that.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard of from people, we went to the VA, they make this mistake, things like that. Not to make the mistake, but what happens is you get a lot of, sometimes people that are shipped in, they're serving, they're moving around, not the same person's there. Clerical errors can happen.
Yeah.
Better to clarify them now. while you're the one who can clarify and you're here still to clarify it,
Yeah.
than doing that. Then we go on to the funeral. Whether you want a traditional burial or you want a cremation, it's now your responsibility to pay for that. You need to pay for the funeral. You need to pay for the cremation. What entails that is when you pass away, picking you up where you passed away, taking you to the crematory or our care center to prepare, and then we work in conjunction with the VA to organize the military burial and take you up to Miramar if that's where you wish to be. Or in the event some people wish to buy at a private cemetery, then it's out of pocket. They have to pay for it.
Okay.
We do give them a free memorial marker if they choose that, and they get that for it.
Okay.
But that's kind of the confusion. And I always say, if you know a veteran, just tell them, I would just like to at least get them the guide in their hand. Just explain it. If for whatever reason they're still unsure, everything, I always tell them, go to the VA, ask them.
So the best starting point sounds like is understand that if you have a DD-214,
Correct.
you have a space that's available to you, possible space that's available to you. The service, though, is not covered.
Correct.
So that is the conversation you need to have. And also then I'll say clerically making sure that what the VA has on record about you is true, so that at the time in which all these things need to be carried out, after you are no longer able to help because you've died, do that now in advance. Is that a safe way to kind of summarize and package all that?
I call it, you want to get the golden ticket. You want to send that letter, get that golden ticket, you put it in your pocket and you have it. I've heard people that bought property at Glen Abbey with us, and I have a private. I still encourage them to do it, and they tell me why. One thing, life is cruel. I mean, death does not discriminate. In the event that you lose a brother, a parent, or a child, you can allow them to use the property. I always say,
I didn't know that.
Property is like your home, okay?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Huh.
So the property at Glen Abbey, not Miramar. Miramar is just designated for veterans.
Yeah.
Think of it as your home. You do not have to justify to me who you allow to live in your home. You can let your parents live there. You can let your brother live in there, your brother-in-law. You can allow a complete stranger to live in there. So when you buy property with me, it could be the plan for you and your wife to use, but maybe you lose a loved one, whatever you Sergio, you know, I know my plan, but I want my brother to use it. I want whoever. It's like that. Your funeral, I want to use the example. It's like your medical coverage. That'll be designated to you. You cannot lend your medical coverage to your brother, to a complete stranger. That's where it differs. So if you buy, and we're talking about veterans, you buy with me, I still encourage them to send that letter, get re-qualified, have it in your pocket. It's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So what I mean by that, knock on wood, you lose a loved one. You can give them your property and you can go up and use Miramar.
Yeah. So who are some of the people out in the business community that are good introductions for you, that are maybe talking to this same subset of people, not just end of death? You've kind of mentioned a couple already: trust and estate, like Maribel, life insurance, like Ray Batar. Who are some other examples, either industry-wise or profession-wise, where you are also a good fit for talking to a family or a couple or even an individual about end-of-life services, kind of connected to something else? What are those something else's?
I'm always looking for a venue where I can get a little bit of time and explain what it is that I do to try to get the word out. I set up a little booth at the SWAT meet at Spring Valley because I'm trying to reach the Hispanic community, because we're one of the worst in pre-planning. It's more of a take care of it when it happens.
Is that because of the superstitious part?
Yes.
I say that because in the trust and estate conversation, I had that conversation with Maribel as well. Like, well, I don't want to talk about it because if I talk about it, it's going to happen tomorrow.
Correct. I think we'll just take care of it when it takes care of it. Yeah. And then you hear the GoFundMe page or the car washes and the things. And then my abuelita told me never to cremate me, but how much is a traditional burial? My God, you're going to have to cremate her. And it's like, So
you're at the swap meet? in Spring Valley?
Yes, I put a little booth and I put things. I do one weekend yes, one weekend no, because most families can meet in the weekends. So I have to have a weekend free to be able to meet with them. And I just sit there, answer questions. Most people go by, they'll give me the little cross, like, the funniest
Like
thing.
they're not going to die or something?
The funniest thing I've ever had was I usually hand there, would you like more information? Try to get a flyer in their hand, something. I gave this flyer to this one lady, and she's like, she went hysterical. She went hysterical. And she went crazy, and I like this. She came back and she threw salt at me.
What?
Yes. And she started. I don't know.
Was
what.
she cleansing you
Yes,
somehow?
whatever. I taken. She goes this and this, and she told me she had to go find salt to pour on herself. And
Oh my gosh.
To do yeah.
I guess I don't know what that's connected to, but
I'm
okay.
either. I don't know. I don't want to know. But that's like the strangest thing that I've had happen.
I would have expected you to say something like, "Yeah, I had a guy throw his shoe at me." But okay, they had a lady toss salt at you, huh? To clear the area.
Clear the area, or me, cursing her or whatever happened. But
Oh my gosh! How long you been doing the swap meet thing?
I've been doing it 4 years.
Oh my gosh! So almost since you came over.
Yes, I started with
started.
Yes, because unfortunately we have to find our own leads. We have to go out there and find our own customers. And I started in April of 2022 working, and in June I started.
Yeah. Oh,
going
wow.
there.
So like
yeah,
the whole time then for 4 years plus a couple months here.
yeah. And now it's a great success. Yes and no.
Yeah.
You go there, and I learned that my goal more is to be visible, so people trust. Because at the end of the day, if you go to the swap meet, okay, you go this weekend, and there's a guy there. How likely are you to give him your phone number, give him your home address, give him your information to some guy you just met at the swap meet? Versus if you're just buying something.
I understand that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten messages from most people who told me, I've gone by, I've seen you, I've gotten the courage up to talk to you, or I've, since you've been here, a kind of thing. I've engaged with people, conversations 3 or 4 times before they give me their number.
There's a delayed kind of response time frame.
The other crazy thing, I've gotten names from people, and yes, I want to do this, I need to do this. And then you call them and they ghost you.
Yeah.
No answer, no nothing. And it's like weird. The first couple of times I thought, oh wow, this is going to be great. These are going to be great sales, like mentality thing.
Yeah.
But soon I found out that at the moment they're thinking, but then they're like,
yeah,
no,
they have second thoughts after they are gung ho about
correct.
it. Wow. So who are some of the professionals that are good referral partners for you? Trust and estate attorneys would be one.
Yes.
Life insurance, of course, would be the other. Who else?
Introduction to probably clergy, pastors, priests, because I know that some of the times their things is when someone dies, they go to them for help, and they can't help economical. They can't help, money-wise.
Covering expenses necessarily.
Correct. They can comfort spiritually, but not things. So introduction of maybe some are open, some are not open, to basically just sit there and give a presentation of what I do, what I can do.
Yeah.
Some have been open to it. He goes, yes, because, they come to us and they expect us to help pay. Yeah. And we're just not equipped to do that. We don't have that. And to do that. Anything or anyone that works with the military, I would love to get in front of many military people to just get them at least that pre-paying guide, a veteran one, in their hands, so they can start planning.
Is there an advantage for you to meet active duty who are retiring in the next 12 to 24 months? Or is it really a conversation that's really post-service time only? And
it's a tough question, because it's when you're ready to plan, you're ready to plan.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to corner you by any means. I'm strategically asking, like, because we have some friends, in business that, they are at their 28-year mark, and they're going to hit their 30, and they know they're going to retire, and they already know what career they're going to do. So do you start talking to them in the years leading up to their retirement? Because we're talking about veterans in the space where they've already separated. We already established, okay, they're separated. Yeah. But is there any advantage to meeting people while they're still enlisted or they're an officer on the route towards separating and retiring in the next 12 to 24 months?
In the sense, yes, because their money flow would be better than when they retire. Mm-hmm. It all depends on what it is that you want. If you want to take the free land, that's a big savings. If you say, no, you know what? My parents are buried at Glen Abbey. I would like to be with them. So it's not going to be out of your pocket. So now you're going to have to buy land and you're going to have to pay funeral. So maybe an introduction to them would be good, because now they're talking about, is it in our budget? What's in our budget? Now we can budget for it because we're not retired yet and we need to do this. At the end of the day, it's a lot like budgeting for anything. You have to place it in your budget to buy it. You plan it just like anything else. One of the other things I love to say about people that say we have the life insurance, if I sit here, Andy, and I tell you, okay, here's a stack of money, boom, plan your kid's birthday party for tomorrow. You have 24 hours to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the money, that's no problem. Okay, hey, you're getting married tomorrow, Andy. Here's the stack of money. Okay, here's money's no issue. It's going to be, but you got to plan it. You're going to plan it all tomorrow. Okay, here you go. I mean, it'll be stressful, but those are fun things. Now, my apologies for this. You parents aren't pre-planned. Okay, you're not pre-planned. You just been told you lost a loved one, a parent or a spouse. Oh, don't worry, Andy. Here's a stack of money. Go plan it.
Yeah.
How comfortable is the money issue of it?
Yeah.
Versus if you have it pre-planned.
Yeah. It's all done. Yeah.
No stress about what my wife wanted. I know clarity. She wanted cremation. She wanted traditional. She wanted an open casket. No open casket. She wanted a mass. She wanted her no mass. She didn't want Uncle Bob there. No. Or whatever you did, we go pre-plan. We get it done for you.
But and also in that case too, let's say even if your loved one had life insurance, term or whole, it's going to require the death certificate, and in the process of getting that money to you, that's not necessarily stacking money on the table right away. So you're going to be out of pocket or using cash or reserves, if you have cash or reserves, to conduct all that and then replenish that once the insurance comes to you. So I think that's something that I hope people think of. Sometimes I don't know that they would. You know what I'm saying? Though, if you got $500,000 life insurance, that's not going to show up the day the person that you love died. That's going to be down the calendar a couple of weeks or months, depending on your situation. That means all these expenses that are going to come out of pocket first, and then you're going to be basically reimbursed.
And my apologies for this question, Andy. When are you going to
die? Probably right before the end of my I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you going to live your term policy? I know people.
I don't know.
I know people that have lived 100 years.
Yeah.
And they've outlived their.
Outlived their term.
So it's like.
Yeah.
You have no clue when you're gonna pass away. Is it today, tomorrow, 100 years from now?
Yeah.
Where I can tell you now exactly the cost. I can give you a payment structure. We can work with you, in theory, buy your land, then your funeral, and you can pay it over 10 years. We can find something with you in usually your budget, and it's the exact amount. If I would tell you when your kids were born, for the next 4 years, pay this amount, and you're paying whatever the state tuition is for San Diego State, and when they turn 18, they're guaranteed the service at the prices when they were born. Would you jump on it?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd be a lot less expensive.
It's kind of the same thing. It will give you the option of buying something at way in the past, and you're freezing that price.
Yeah.
That's the biggest advantage. Yeah. Besides freezing the prices, you're picking exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And most important, you're not putting that burden on a loved one.
And it really is a foregone conclusion. We're all going to pass away. It really is just the method in which that point in time is going to be handled based on your depth of pre-planning, the seriousness and like thoroughness, I guess. Maybe thoroughness is the right word, not seriousness, but how thorough you have been in the advanced part of that. And then how much that's leaving behind for the people that are mourning your loss, as well as trying to then honor and celebrate the life that you did live, and doing that with as little duress as possible.
I like to think at the end of the day, what I bring is peace of mind. That's my goal in BNI, to try to somehow make that Green Ripper. Everyone sees me, sees death, and, the thing that goes with it, the jokes and everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm hoping to bring peace of mind to families that everything is taken care of. There's a call that goes in and we will take care of everything so you can begin to grieve. Most people haven't done this. Most people have not planned. The closest comparison that I can come up with, and it's probably something we've all done, we probably all have gone to buy a car. Now, why do I bring this? I don't mean to be, funny or anything like that, but just like the options in cars, we have options at the end of life. Do I want open casket? Do I want a metal casket, a wooden casket? Do I want cremation? So just like endless options of cars, there's endless options that a loved one could want. Now, once we decide on what we want for a car, we all get sent inside to the financial department. And we all dread that. You're asked questions and this and that, and the fun time is now gone because you're doing it. Put yourself in that place, because most of us have done it, but you've been told that you lost your dad, your spouse, or a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably the closest thing I can, because you're going to show up to us and we're going to ask you a lot of similar questions.
It's really compounded.
Correct.
Yeah.
All those questions and this and what would you want and do and the things. And it's not that we'll be as compassionate as we can, but we need that information because we now have to process everything.
Yeah.
And nothing has been planned.
Yeah. And there's a liability, too, for being in this business and providing that service that you owe not only to the family, but the state and the city and the county and all those, all the different jurisdictions that you're responsible for reporting stuff to.
A lot of paperwork.
Yeah. And I know that's more like, again, clerical in nature, but still, like, finding yourself in that emotional space, having to do that procedural process might just be way too much for most people. I can imagine that that's the case. So
now, maybe financially you can handle it. But emotionally, how can you handle it? Yeah. Will you be able to do it? Mm-hmm. Maybe financially it won't be a burden, but I can guarantee you it'll be an emotional burden.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly grateful that we have your expertise in our room, and I'm grateful that our community has people at Dignity in numerous places throughout San Diego County who can do all this and then advocate for things being done in the advanced stages and proactively. I've learned a lot in this conversation today, and also during our one-to-one too, especially about the VA space with veterans and what they think they have and then what they learn that they may not. I would highly encourage everyone to conduct that one-to-one with you if they have not yet already, but also put the lens on your own situation, put your lens on the situation of your most immediate family next, and then go downstream from that, and then find out who are good referral partners for Sergio. I want to do a couple things here at the end. I have two personal questions I want to ask you, but then I want you to give your contact information so even people outside of our chapter that want to reach you and talk about these things can reach you. Can I ask you my two personal questions?
Yeah.
Okay. I have asked everyone these questions, so I want to make sure I get to ask you and you get to answer as well. If you were able to, this is so different asking you this question. If you were able to have a meal with someone dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? That's a good question. My dad, one more time. I mean, the way I lost him to cancer, he was my hero. He was probably my person. If I knew, he was gonna be gone, and I could have that wish. Hopefully, he's proud of me, proud of what I've accomplished. I've tried to take care of, mom to the best of my ability. I've tried to be the best husband I could, the best dad I could be. I hope he's up there looking at me and he's proud.
What's one of your favorite memories of your father?
I guess he was tough with me. He was chicotito en toda en acción, the old school and tough. But I think he did it because he loved me. And you don't understand that until later into it.
Yeah, it hits you later on down the road.
You're basically kind of almost repeating everything he said and do. But great memory. Probably went to see the Padres back in the 80s. and being there, and it's just, it was funny. We saw them more when they were in last place than when they were in the first place. But I don't have the memory of the game. I have the memory of of going with my dad and my mom and my brothers, and the adventure of being there, and
being at old Jack Murphy Stadium.
Jack Murphy Stadium, exactly.
Back in the day. It's way before Qualcomm, all you young cats, and even way further before Petco. That's nice. That's fun. I grew up going to Jack Murphy Stadium as well with my dad, playing baseball, having my dad as a coach, and going to Padre games. And yes, quite often watching him in the basement playing for last place.
It's a funny thing. I went to them
I'm sorry.
More times. I was there more when they were in last place.
Well, the other personal question is, if I hand you this microphone and you're in a arena with 100,000 people and you get to say thank you to somebody, who would you want to thank, and what do you want to tell them?
My wife. God truly blessed me when she brought her into my life. I truly could say I married out of my class. I have no idea why she's with me. She's the best thing, I would say. I love you and thank you.
How long have you been married?
29 years.
29 years. What would you say is if you had to give advice to a younger couple who's maybe in their first or second year, what's the secret to a 29-year marriage?
Happy wife, happy life.
It's too bad there's no word that rhymes with husband. But it is true. There's a layer of truth to that. Yes, absolutely.
Communication, working together, and just being faithful to each other and loving each other.
I like that. Very good. I love that. Being open in communication and being faithful and devoted to one another. I really like that. We're right behind you, man. We're at 23. I'm going to catch up to you someday. Wait a minute. That's not how time works. I'm not going to catch up to you, but congratulations on 29 years. You're going to have your 30th soon.
May 17th will be our 30th.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's becoming more and more rare to meet people beyond 20, 30, 40 years, but I always love getting to hear what pearls of wisdom people have to share when they've had multi-decade-long marriages, because there are those seasons of challenge that will definitely test you, but man, there's nothing like going through those testings together, I think, so... So thank you, Sergio. For people who want to ask you further questions, or maybe you've said something on the program that they need to personally follow up on, where's the best place for them to reach you?
Best thing, you can always call me or text me. My phone number is 619-254-3943. And my email is sergio.deleon@dignitymemorial.com.
And then you have that little booklet there. Will you grab one of those real quick?
Yes.
Show everyone that, because if this is for the planning, this is for the planning guide, but this is the book that has the sheet on the back, right? If the veteran needs to submit the paperwork, is that on here?
Different. No, this one.
Oh, got it. That's the other one.
This is something that I would love to make an appointment whenever we're going to get him to our hands.
Got it.
I do have a veteran once, but I did give it to Anthony.
Got it.
That's the one. This one is basically whether you want to sit down and just curious, I leave you this gift. This is an incredible tool, and I brought this because you told me your parents are already pre-planned.
Yeah.
Like any tool, if you don't use it, it's of no use. But page 4 alone, it's worth its weight in gold, because when the moment comes and your parents pass away, it's right here. Important information.
Yeah.
So you're going to show up and we're going to ask you all these questions.
It's already done.
Or you show up with the book already done. And what if you can't answer something from here? What if there's something on there and I don't know? Well, I don't know. Well, we're going to say politely, okay, can you come back tomorrow? Because we have our next appointment or we have another thing. And this goes into basically helping to tell a story about you.
Yeah.
Your family tree.
That's good.
Basically, all your wishes to what type of service you would want, what kind of flowers you would like, music, everything, what organizations you belong to.
Oh, wow.
People to contact.
That's really thorough.
People to contact. This is the most misunderstood page, and I think one of the second most important page.
Huh.
when you think about that, most people are thinking, okay, Uncle Bob, Aunt Sue, because everyone has family. The hardest people to reach when we lose a loved one are the loved one's intimate friends. How often does your wife call your friends?
Well, usually never. Yeah.
And those are the hardest people,
Yeah,
your
it's
most
hard to
intimate
reach.
friends,
Yeah.
people that they don't have the numbers. And I always tell them,
Right.
don't be afraid to put an extra page here
Yeah.
and put that in here.
Yeah.
And you would think the intimate friends, they're the hardest ones to reach.
Yeah, she has her girlfriends.
Yeah,
I have my
everyone-
guy friend, and
correct.
sometimes they're married. But those overlaps are less than the batch of buddies I have over here and the group of gals she has over there.
Correct.
Yeah.
The information you're going to have to gather for Social Security,
Yeah.
the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a will? Yes. Where is it? Because we're very good at putting away the papers
great.
and hiding them.
Yeah, putting them away for when another day.
Yeah. Financial information, billions of dollars go uncollected in funds because people don't know they have the money.
They don't know they have
They don't
access.
have the account.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Jeez.
And let me tell you, no bank institution, no life insurance is going to help you on payout. All the work is on you.
No,
Why?
it's benefits them to hold the money.
Correct. And the most misunderstood and least thought is online profile.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important?
Yeah.
2 reasons. One, you can gain access to the online profile, use it to let people know we lost our father, we're planning a service, and more important, log in and deactivate all those accounts.
Mm-hmm.
They stay active, and people are, how am I going to shut it down? How am I going to get into it and all that?
Mm-hmm.
And then our dignity difference. This is what kind of sets us aside from our competitor. We went into a couple.
Yeah.
There's way more than we can get into,
That's great.
but I would love to discuss them personally with people.
If you're watching this part of the show and you want one of these, you can make an appointment with Sergio and he can give you this workbook. This is a very comprehensive pre-planning guide for all sorts of content information and details that your family and loved ones are going to need to have when it comes time for them to have to answer these questions, reach people, access certain things that you are the primary point person for. So I'm very happy. It sounds weird to say that, but I'm very happy to see the thoroughness and how complete the thoughtfulness is of just this little workbook here. This is super helpful. And I'm also very grateful to have someone like you, not someone like you. I'm grateful to have you in our chapter, Sergio. Thank you so much for joining us in this adventure called BNI Partners in Excellence. I know that we're going to have plenty of people to refer you to confidently and competently. I am sincerely appreciative of the work you do. I have been to Glen Abbey many times, and I know that is not the end of my visits there. I'm happy to know that I know someone there who I know, like, and trust, and thank you for being in our corner in business and in our life. I really appreciate you very much.
And
Thank you.
Andy, I want to thank you for what you do for us, everything you do there and what you allow us to use. I mean, this is incredible. I want to thank you and thank you for the person you are and thank you for everything you do for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do this from the bottom of my heart. I do this with great joy. I like seeing my friends become successful. And if I can share this space to help you guys get more referrals, I want to do that. So thank you for taking time out of your day to come and do this show with me. I hope that people watching will reach out to you and be proactive in their planning just as much as you have advocated they should be today. So thank you, Sergio. I appreciate it. Good job
you so
today.
much.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
If you would like to network with Sergio and I at BNI Partners in Excellence, we meet every Wednesday at the Chula Vista Golf Course in Bonita. That's right, the Chula Vista Golf Course at Bonita, 4475 Bonita Road. You will find the link to the visitor page in the description box below. You can put in your information, your contact details, and your classification. And if we have a seat open for you, we want to welcome you to BNI Partners of Excellence as well and come and network with us where we share qualified referrals to help each other grow and scale each other's businesses. We all operate with the heart of giver's gain, just as you've heard Sergio demonstrate today. And we would be really honored to have you join us at a future meeting. We meet every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Open networking starts at 6:45. Thank you so much again, Sergio from Dignity Memorial, for being here today. You'll find his contact information in the description box below. We appreciate you watching this episode, and we'll see you next time with another great guest.